Welcome to Youken The Podcast, brought to you by Youken Groups. Today, I am having a guest, actually, like a friend of mine for Guatemala, who decided finally that he will be able to be on this podcast. He's young as fuck and smart and like really good at music, like so good I can't even tell. I'm just gonna let himself. I'm just gonna let you present yourself at this point.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. This is Gilsons from Guatemala, as Youken said. A music producer and DJ of the electronic dance music genre, and I am just 17 years old. And I hope you join this podcast.
Let's go. So Gilson, can you share with me what sparked your interest in music production such at such a young age? Like why? I mean, I'm not judging because even me, I started that young.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my story, how I started in the music. Let's say that my interest for music started from a very young age. I said a very young age because since I was like 2 years old, I every day I asked my dad to buy me a guitar, since I was just 2 years. And my father, yeah, he bought me the guitar.
You
But
spammed him; he had no choice.
yeah, and that passion for music, I think it's from my family too, because my grandfather, my uncles, they all of them play some instruments, and I think that talents comes from them. But I'm gonna tell you step by step how I started in the music. When I was like 5 years old, I think, I started singing in my church. I remember that my mother bought a CD of Christian music, and I started singing the songs of that artist in my church. Then, like when I was 6 years old, I started to learning how to play the piano. I'm gonna be honest. I just went to piano lessons like 2 weeks, and I didn't go anymore to the piano lessons. I just learned with the music teacher how to play the C major, G major, and F major, and from then I started to experimenting the keyboard, the piano, just by myself. I started to looking how to play C minor, D major, D minor, and from then I learned the piano just by myself. I'm gonna say it like that. When I was 7 years old, I started to learning how to play the guitar, just watching my brother, because my brother plays the guitar and the bass too. And
Wow.
just watching my brother, I learned how to play the guitar. When I was 8 years old, my uncle who's living in the USA, he sent me an accordion. I don't know if you know what instrument is
Yeah, an
that.
accordion.
It's yeah, it's like the keys are like the piano, and you have to stretch it to make it sound. And it was very easy to me to play that instrument because the keys are just like the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very easy for me. At the same age of 8 years old, I started learning how to play the violin. I'm gonna be honest, I took lessons for violin because I wanted to be part of the orchestra of my town. So I
Oh.
played the violin in that orchestra.
Hmm.
We played with the orchestra in some parts of Guatemala, and I couldn't go to other countries, but I was too young to
Yeah,
to go to other
yeah.
countries alone because my family, like my father and my mother, couldn't go with me in that country. But when I was 9 years old, I started to learn how to play the bass. Like I told you before, my brother always plays the bass, and I just it's very easy to play the bass because it's just one string that you have to play. So just watching
I mean,
my brother, I
it's
learned how to
sorry to
play.
interrupt. It's
Yeah,
easy for
it's okay.
you because me, I've been trying the ukulele. It's been like I don't know. It's gonna be a year soon, and I don't know stuff yet.
Yeah, I think it's part of the talent, and I give a lot of thanks to God because I'm a very believer of God, and I think He gave me the this talent.
Yeah,
And
this
like I
talent.
told you, yeah, like I told you before, my family, it's a very musical family too.
That's
So I think this comes from there. Like I was telling you, 9 years old, I started to play the bass. When I was 10 years old, I started to playing the drums.
oh,
Just watching too, just watching too, the guy who was playing the drums in that time in my church.
you
Every
just
time
told
that,
me.
yeah,
It's just like,
yeah, just
oh, he
watching
plays like
others.
that. Okay, I'm just gonna do the same thing.
Yeah. So like I was telling you, just watching the guy who played the drums in my church in that time, like 2015, I think, yeah, in that year. Um, just watching him, and the last instrument that I learned to play was the clarinet when I was 12 years old. I learned the clarinet because I when I was 12, I was in the middle school, and I remember that I wanted to be part of the band, the music band of my school. And I went to the music teacher of that band, and I told him that I wanted to be part of it. And he told me that the only instrument that was available was the clarinet.
It was a clarinet.
But
Yeah,
the fact is that I wanted to be the part of the band.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter for me which instrument was available. So I took it home, the instrument. I started to watching YouTube tutorials of how to play the clarinet.
Hmm.
And the same night that the teacher gave me the clarinet, in that night I was playing Havana by Camila Cabello, just watching YouTube tutorials and just experimenting the instrument by myself and with my ears, which note is this, which note it's this if I press right here, and in the same day that they gave me the instrument, I was playing a song. So like I told you, I think it's a very talent that I appreciate a lot, and I'm very
Yeah.
thankful for it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I just feel like sometimes the moment you already know like few instruments, it's easy. It gets a little bit easy for you to play the others. Like
Yeah.
how can I say, like I'm like I don't really play that good on keys, but that's like what I learned first. And I practice a little. I mean, when my sister used to have her piano before she took it, I just used to practice on that, and it came naturally. Like melodies just came naturally, even though I didn't know that much about chords and stuff that much. I just melodies just came naturally. That's how I started doing piano score 1, 2, 3, and 4 because it was just random. But still, I I just got that. How can I say? Now I have ukulele. I hear the melodies in my head, even though I still don't know how to play. I just
Yeah.
always have to go and Google, going like, oh, what's the chord for? What's the chord for? And I'm mostly learning ukulele. I'm trying with ukulele because I want to learn strings. And when I was with my friend, we went to this music store, and I realized I don't know how to handle a guitar. I don't know how to handle strings. That's why I was like, I have to buy a ukulele and start to learn how to handle these. From there, I'm gonna learn a little bit more, and then maybe buy a guitar and start practicing. But even though I don't really practice, like, I get you. But it's good, man. You really have that talent in like it falls in your blood.
Yeah. I think,
That's actually
yeah.
fascinating, and I'm mostly impressed because you actually involved yourself in everything. You went for it. That's the reverse for me. I was too shy. I was too anxious, so I never actually got myself to like, yeah, I want to go do this. The only time I actually went and did something, I mean, the time I got in, like when I was a kid, I hated music. Why? Because my sister, I was watching National Geographic channel. She would just switch it and put the music channel, and I hated that. Just because of that, I was hating music so much until I just got used to it. I just got used to the fact that she will put the music channel all the time, and then that's where I learned what music is because I wasn't even interested in music at all. All my interests were art. So I'm not art. I mean science. Science. My bad. So that was the only interest I had, and then I went to church, same as you, but I didn't play instrument. I copied the voice of a tenor. Like there was this song that I really liked, and then I heard the tenor singing it. And then one day I just show up at the practice with my mom, and then I asked my mom, "Can you put me in the choir, please?" And then she got me to the church when they were practicing, and then we saw the leader, and then we talked. She talked to him, and then they asked me what voice do I sing, and then I just sang what I heard from that man, and then they were like, "Okay, you will be our young guest." I'll be like, "Yay, let's go!" And I practiced with them, but I had issues. I never stick with one voice. I always switch because tenor voice and alto voice are kind of the same. Like the difference is that tenor is like I would say a lower how's it called? When you shift from one pitch to another, I forgot the name. Like, but like tenor was like a little bit of a
Yeah,
lower
like
pitch.
one octave
Yes,
higher.
octave, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like I hope I'm not saying nonsense, but for me, it felt like just switching from one octave to another because the moment I just go from low range to high range, I'm singing alto. That's how I felt, and everyone was just telling me, "Yo, you're not singing your voice there, my friend. You're singing the other people's voice," and it was jamming with the rest of the people, confusing them, and it was funny. But I did that, and then I had to move, and then when I moved, all the time I moved, I tried to join the choir all the time. Everywhere I was going, I just trying to join the choir, and I never really learned any instrument. The only instrument I knew was I drums, but with your hand. You know those kind of drums that you play with your hand, like you hit. That's the only because back in my country that's like a traditional instrument. So I
Mhm.
learned how to play that. I can like play drums with my hand on the desk on every flat surface, I guess. But
But you have like the feeling to play the drums.
yeah, like the thing with me, I feel mostly like let's say there's an orchestra, I feel mostly like an arranger in an orchestra because I hear melodies. I see melodies, I hear them in my head. Even though sometimes it's hard for me to actually play them, I just hear them going around, going like this, this, this. Sometimes I won't even know which note it is, but I just hear it, and then I'll just be mumming them in my phone and stuff, and then maybe sending it to one of my friends, and then he's gonna like help me maybe play the guitar, and based on that, he will send me back the sample. I'll go from there. Like I hear melodies mostly, and that's how I knew that I have a little bit of the feeling of the music. And when I went back for like vacation to my grandma's house when I was a little bit older, I went to one of my uncle's room. He's a huge artist in my country and in Europe. He like back in the 90s, 19s, and he made some great music. He played guitar and he's popular and stuff. And when I went in his room, and there was like this studio that he had in the house. I went there. I was like crazy. I was like, no way. He had so many stuff in there. I just saw and touched. My grandma told me to not play with all of those stuff because he said to not touch them. But like, I was so excited. That's where I was like, yes, I need to make music because I was like, no way, I need to make music because
Yeah,
when
in
I
that
see
time,
stuff like this,
like you found that you wanted to be a music
yeah,
person, you know?
exactly. But I
Yeah.
didn't, I didn't really like did that much. It wasn't really like the main goal for me until I came to Canada and I started making beats at school. you know, because back home I didn't have a computer and all that stuff. When I came here, I had a computer. I started discovering FL Studio and stuff. I started making beats and stuff, sampling, placing stuff. That's why most of the time I'm good at sampling than actually making a beat. Though I like, learned how to sample and just sampling, tweaking this, changing and that, and making my team classmates listen. They loved it. That's how my friend one day told me, put your song on SoundCloud. I did, and that's it. That's how it all started. I put the song on SoundCloud. Everyone liked it. All our friend group, everyone, and then from there, I just started releasing music. It was, I don't know how I got here. Honestly, I just know there was some path, and then I just got here. Honestly, but like your story
I
is
think every producer started putting a track on SoundCloud because I did the same.
true, true,
I
true.
did the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brain. I'm like, really, what got me here? Because I don't really know. I just felt like I got here, and I'm like, it's fun because honestly, I make music for fun, but the music business, it's not for fun. It's not for fun only. It's the fun part, but I take it seriously. I take the music business way more seriously than actually me making the music. But
It's very,
there,
very complicated.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
complicated, but I love it. I like when there's
Yeah.
challenge. I like when it's new because music business change all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a fact.
hey,
Yeah.
this episode is not about me. I should have made an episode about telling my story, but
It's okay. It's
you made
okay.
me say all the stuff.
It's okay.
Okay.
Let's share our lives.
So you said earlier that let me turn back on the thing. You said
Okay.
earlier that you did EDM and some pop music. So and I love your music, man. Like, oh my
Thank
god.
you. Thank you. I
It's
appreciate it.
there's sometimes there are no vocals, but I feel it. I like
Yeah.
that's where I tell myself all the time it's art because it's not meant for
Thank you.
you to love it. It's meant for you to feel something, and that's why I do it
Yeah.
every time I listen to your shit. Like I love it. So, what drew
Thank you.
you to specialize in EDM and pop genres?
Well, electronic dance music, it's not a, let's say it's not a genre. It's not a music genre that it's listened by all the people here in Guatemala because it's not a Latin genre, you know. Um, just some persons, some people who listens to EDM. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know anything about EDM before I was 12 years old. Yeah, there was a lot of hits of EDM music when I was a kid that sounded here in Guatemala a lot, like Animals by Martin Garrix, let's say Alone by Marshmello, which is a very special song for me. I'm gonna say it later why. But what I specialize in EDM music, it's because I think for me, electronic dance music is the best genre you're gonna listen in the world, because this is a genre filled of a lot of feelings. It's very energetic. Um, its melodies are very sentimental. Even if you're not in your best mood, feel good, because I think like there are a lot of subgenres of EDM music, like progressive house, future bounce, future bass, deep house, melodic techno, tech house, and which all of these subgenres has in common. It's that all of these genres, its melodies are very special and very, very, very sentimental, and its melodies gets right to your heart. That's why I love EDM, because you can go through the feelings of a person by your music. Uh, I think for me, EDM is it's the best genre in the world. And talking about pop music, I think it's a fact that pop music is the most listened genre in the world.
True.
It's a very very commercial genre.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that to be happy, I have to be vibing while making my songs. If
Mhm.
I'm not vibing and I am not feeling it, I don't finish the song.
That's good.
I have to be I have to be vibing and feeling the melody of the song um, through the start of the song to the finish.
And
It hasn't to yeah.
I mean, you don't make the music for us. You make for yourself, first of all. And if you like it, then we will like it.
Yeah, I think that it's very important. If you like the music, then just release it. Because if you don't like it, um, I'm not very happy releasing it because I think maybe it's not I'm not right,
Yeah.
but for me, if
I
I
mean,
don't feel and I don't like my own song, I feel like other people are not gonna like it. So to release a song, I have to like by myself.
exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, because people who listen, they actually are kind of like you. So like they relate to who you are. And if you don't even like it yourself, like I'll take example like me. Most of the songs that I have that don't have that much listens are songs that I don't really like. So I was just like, okay, this song is good because for me, it's mostly of a path of improvement. That's why I just post myself because I'm like I should post it because I have some because for me it's basically because of my friends that started listening to me. I like to post whatever because they taught me that way. That hey, post it, and based on that, they tell me, oh, you improve this way, you improve that way. You know. Yes, I know it's online, it's on platforms. Who cares? I'm just having fun here. And sometimes some people relate to it, and I'm even surprised because I'm like, that song is not even good, man. They're like, yeah, it's actually good. I'm like, no, it's not. But you're right, and that's what I'm kind of doing now. I'm not releasing anything unless it's good, unless I like it.
yeah.
That's
Being honest, I have more songs that I didn't release than the songs that are released. Let's say I
exactly.
have 5 songs in the digital platforms, and I have like 200 songs in my computer that I'm not
That's me
releasing.
right now. Since
Yeah,
January, I've been saying I'm working on an album. I went from 1 to 2 albums, and then from that, I went to another album, and I'm already done with the other album. So like, it's crazy. I didn't like the
yeah,
first album I did. I didn't like the second album I did, and then I'm like, okay, let's just do a third. And the third album is more fun, is more chill, is more whatever, and I love it, and I like it, and my team they love it too.
yeah.
So you see, it'll come out hopefully in January, like next year. I hope. I keep saying songs will come out. I don't release anything, but I hope,
Yeah,
I hope so. But like
yeah,
that's one thing. And how do you see the? I mean, you already answered that. How the genre is going in the Guatemalan music scene. People actually relate to EDM. They like to feel, even though it's not from there. That's actually good.
but I'm very happy about EDM music here in Guatemala because in the last years, um, some years before, there was no EDM concerts or festivals here in Guatemala. But in the last years, there are now 2 electronic dance music festivals here in Guatemala. One of them is the Empire Music Festival, which is a very, very big festival. And now this year came to Guatemala the first Road to Ultra, which I'm very, very happy that came to Guatemala because it's an opportunity to people who don't know anything about EDM music to know
True.
this genre and yeah, to know this genre and see how powerful this genre is.
I mean, it's also good for you guys because it's giving you guys a steam. You are EDM artists
Yeah,
are starting up. you EDM artists in Guatemala. That gives you a really great scene for you guys to actually show who you are and what you do. That's really good. So I saw that you founded a record label. Yay, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
So what inspired you to make a record label?
Well, since I had the idea to found my record label, GT Records.
Yeah, I
Um,
forgot to say the name. GT
yeah, GT
Records.
Records.
I also
GT
want to know
Records.
what the GT means too.
Well, GT, it's like the abbreviation of Guatemala.
Okay, I thought about it. Okay, thank you
Yeah.
for confirming.
Okay. GT
Because I thought it
Records.
would be Gilson something else.
No,
Okay.
it's for Guatemala. Okay, so since I had the idea to found GT Records, always there was a vision. And the vision why I created GT Records is to support the Guatemalan, which has the capacity of making a person famous in the
Exactly. I
music.
get you.
Yeah,
Yes. It's the same thing
yeah.
with my country.
So
We
yeah,
kind of have
so
the,
that
I mean,
mhm,
sorry to interrupt, but
it's
in my
okay.
country, we kind of have the same issue. Um,
Mhm.
but now it's kind of becoming better. But the issue is
Yeah,
that those who are powerful, as usual, taking advantage of those who don't know, which is sad
yeah,
for me. That's why I'm focalizing my label Youken groups in my country. We like spreading honesty, and then I launch a distribution company to like be the competition to other distribution
mhm,
companies in my country because they were making money off artists without the artists knowing. Um, Now I'm working on publishing so that I could have like, because in my country there's no real publishing system, and all those like it's sometimes that's the thing. Some countries don't take it, don't actually stand up for their people. Like mostly artists, hence we don't have the choice then to do it ourselves.
yeah. Like I was telling you, there was always a vision when I created GT Records to support the talent of Guatemala. Um, but yeah, if another artist to of another country came to GT Records, it's very welcome. I already signed some artists from another countries like South Korea or the USA, but
Oh, okay,
the
that's good.
main yeah the main objective here is to support the Guatemalan artist because the music distribution in the digital platforms it's not able for everybody sadly here in Guatemala because talking about money to distribute their own music.
That
So
I could help with
that
that actually.
oh thank you. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
like
it. Yeah.
if you want, we could talk about it later. I could, if you
Okay.
want, we could make that your label offers distribution for free using my platform. I don't mind if it's free. We could do that.
Okay. I
Okay,
appreciate that
because
to help
that would be
my
really good
country.
if we actually do some good things, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
I saw some emails about some other distributors like coming together to found like this non-profit. I could try to talk to them too and see if there are a few of them that are from Guatemala and see if we could like do something, because I never thought about that. I never thought about there are some countries there where people need. The thing is, I'm actually limited to Africa with my distribution, but I can still do. We can still see how to make things work. Okay, I'm kind of limited.
Thank you. Thank
Like
you.
I can distribute everywhere. I own a distribution company now. I can distribute Vivo and everything.
I
And
really appreciate that.
yeah, but the thing is, my the people I work with kind of limited me to the Africa continent because I mean the name of the distribution is Africa Distro. But
Yeah.
because of the market, because we work with other different distributors and we don't want to go in other people market. But if I'll talk to them and see if we can do something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
That would be good.
Well,
I would love to do some good.
yeah,
Maybe
let's
that
talk
would be
about
nice to
that
do. Yeah,
later. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
But and then
Okay, so like I was telling you,
about that.
yeah, like I was telling you, to distribute music here in Guatemala, it's not available um, to everybody here in Guatemala has money. So that was my goal to support and help the Guatemalan artists to distribute their music to the to all the streaming platforms like Spotify and the other ones. And yeah, that was the main goal. I have a lot of objectives in my record label, but that was the main goal
That's good.
in my record label. Yeah,
I love it. I love the mission, man. Keep going.
thank
South
you.
Korean. Oh my god, you can't even imagine how much I've tried to land on artists from Asia. I mean, I have one in
Yeah.
Philippines, but she's too young. Hence, I'm giving
Mhm.
her time to grow and like done with school. South Korea? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good,
I was
man. I'm
impressed
really
when I was impressed when I got that demo and he told me he was from South Korea, and
yeah.
I was
I mean,
shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. Yeah,
that's the thing. Sometimes when I open my emails, I see some demos. I'm like, no, this is not for real. Like it's crazy. It's good. It's good. I mean, we
yeah,
will talk about label. Maybe another episode about labels. That would be good.
yeah.
Like we will give some insights and
Amazing.
help people with stuff. You know,
Hmm.
that's one thing I was
Amazing.
thinking about doing most now. Like talking
Hmm.
about music business, but I'm afraid because I don't know that much. I only know based on my personal experience, and I don't want to share stuff that's not true.
Yeah,
Or you know, that's why I'm like kind of scared of actually sharing. I like to share maybe like to one person, but not like to like go online and talk about stuff like that. We could try. So what were some challenges? I already know a few. I already
hmm,
imagine few, but what were some challenges? Like oh mostly when you're young like that, it's gotta be hard to have a label.
well, the first challenge that I found, it's the age. Age was a very hard challenge because of the contracts, because you know this process
You have to
of
be legal
signing,
age to do contract.
yeah, of signing an artist to your record label. You have to have a contract. So I had to go to some lawyers in here in Guatemala. So they gave me the permission to do this. It's not in my name, but in my father's name for the
Yeah,
moment.
that's good. I mean,
And
I did the
yeah,
same thing. My sister had to
yeah.
sign all my first contracts. That's why today she's always like, you know, your label would not be here without me. You would not be here without me. I did everything for you. I borrowed you $5, $10. I borrowed you this amount. I signed the contracts for you. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. And a fun thing is that my parents don't know anything about these things. And when I told them
They were
to
confused.
this idea, um, so they can be like the owners of my record label for the moment, um, they they were like very afraid because they talked that this is a thing about thing, but I started to explain which was my idea, so they got it and they support me. I have
That's
to.
good.
I'm very thankful with my parents because
That's good. That's good.
they are who always support me in every project that I want to do. And in
I
the
have to fight
music,
with mine.
yeah.
I have to fight with mine. Even now, I still have to fight with them. But like, oh, no, no, no. But now I'm a little bit a little bit older, so it's kind of easy now
Yeah,
because it's my. I take my decision. They can't really. They're just gonna advise me, but they can't really say no, and I'll listen because I do whatever I want now. But yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of it's good. It's good. And I had the same challenge because one day I just went to someone. He's like, "You're a kid. You don't know anything," but I knew even more than he did. That's
yeah,
where it was even funny because they're like, "You're a kid, you don't know stuff." And then one day I remember, and then a year after, he saw all the things. Sorry, okay, oh, keep on being mine. But like after he saw all the thing I was able to do, he was like,
Hmm?
"Hey, I didn't know you do that. That's
Really, really impressed.
amazing." I was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah,
So, what other challenges you had?
I think that was the main challenge. Let me think about it.
I mean,
I think the time,
the
because
time.
yeah, the time,
Yeah, it's
because
hard.
when I founded GT Records, I was only 14 years old.
15 around. Yeah, around
15.
14,
Yeah,
15. Yeah,
15.
yeah.
I was 15 years old. In that time, I was still in middle school, so I was studying, making music, founding GT Records, and
It's
the
hard.
problem that I told you, that of my because of my age, going to a lot of lawyers here in Guatemala,
Yeah,
and yeah, studying at the same time, music, the record label, personal things. It was very hard, but
yeah. I know those.
I
I
yeah.
like even now I have issues managing my time because I wasn't in high school, but yeah, I started my label. I was in high school. It was
Mhm.
easy. I only had a one artist, and I was his producer, so it was kind of easy. I made the beats, he sings. I was kind of his manager. I had already I just you know I mixed myself. He just records, send me over the vocals. I mixed myself and everything, even though it was crappy mixing. I'm gonna say to be honest, but I tried my best. We released some stuff, and it was fun. But it
Yeah.
became to grow up. I met new people. I met this. I met that. Um, I never spent a penny. I just tried it because I had to. I made sure I learned a lot of skills like
Mhm.
website coding, stuff like that, making websites, online stuff. I had to become like a computer geek, like learn how to do like basic stuff that in my country they don't know. Hence, I had to
Yeah.
exchange services. I'm like, hey, can my artist go to your studio for like an hour and then I'm gonna do this for you? Oh yeah, I can do this for you. For you, I can like make a cover art. I learned how to do cover art. I learned how to do editing, like all the stuff
Mhm.
because I had to.
Yeah.
I had no choice if I didn't want to just spend a penny. And I did that for like 2 years without spending anything until I started spending some money. But it was kind of chill.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest, I sacrificed school and personal time a lot. Um when I got to college, like I just finished college, but I'm going back. But when I was in college, I had college, work, business, personal time, artist life.
A lot of
Like
things.
I had, and I started my distribution company.
And a fun thing that when you are an independent artist is that you are your own manager, um, the
Well,
artist who
not
mixes, who
really.
masters the songs.
Yes, that's true. But manager part, I got lucky because I was a label manager until because I had someone. She's called Sarah, and I formed her to
Okay.
become. And then I paid her training in music business. She took a training. She got a certificate. I made her label manager. She became my manager.
Oh,
That
amazing.
then it became a little bit easy, a little bit because she's back home in Cameroon and I'm here. She just
Mhm.
manages like few of my stuff, but I still do most of the stuff in a way. Um, and I mean, I want to let her keep managing other artists because I'm not that important. They are more important than me. I live in Canada. They live in Cameroon. We have two different lives. They need
Yeah.
the money of their music to live. I don't. I have a job,
Mhm.
so it's
Yeah.
different. I have to make her take care of them so that they succeed rather than me. Because even if I don't succeed, I still got a chance to like get where somewhere in my life. But if they don't, they're kind of fucked, you know.
Yeah.
So I just try my best, and here I am, just
Yeah.
doubting all the time. But you're right. Label is
Yeah.
fun. Label is hard, and oh, we have to work it. Oh my god, 39 minutes. This is the longest my podcast I've ever been. Um, I wanted to ask you to work through your creative process, but I think you kind of already did. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about that.
like
Let's talk about your creative process, your
okay,
influences, and what advice do you have for other producers like me,
okay,
for example?
it's okay. My my influences, what makes me wanna to enter to the music production world was a very special song that was sounding in that moment a lot, which is "Alone" by Marshmello. Um, it was a very special song for me. I don't know why, but that song made me wanna do to enter to music production the world. um, yeah, there are two artists who influences me to enter to this world, which was Marshmello and Martin Garrix. To those artists really inspire me to make my own music. My creative process, how I start to from an idea to a whole track. um, I don't start the same always. um, Sometimes I start with a melody. From that melody, I create the chords, and then I'm I start to finding the sounds that fits with the that melody and the chords, and then the rhythm, and then I start with the arrangement, and I that it's like that the song comes. Other times I start with the chords. From that chords, I create a melody, and then the sounds. And other times, I start with a vocal. From that vocal, I create the chords and then the melody. Or sometimes I start with the rhythm, and from that rhythm, the melody comes to my mind. Or the times what I like the most, it's when I am experimenting new sounds, and I found a new sound, and that
Mhm.
sound inspired me to create a melody from just a sound like a synth, or I don't know, a drum sound. Yeah, from that, it inspires
I
me
mean,
to create a melody.
yeah, that's good, man. That's
Yeah,
good. It's crazy because you actually managed to finish most of your songs. Do you even manage to finish all of them?
like I was telling you, there are a lot of songs that I have not released yet,
Yeah, but at
and
least do you like manage to finish them though? Finish this,
sorry.
but at least do you actually manage to finish the songs?
Yeah, what I try every time is to finish every song. But like I was telling you, maybe I start vibing with the song at the beginning, but days later, I get bored of that song, and I don't finish anymore the songs. But
Okay.
that's an advice that I give to other producers, that finish your songs. And like you were telling that, yeah, release your songs if even if you don't like them,
Yeah,
because
true.
that's, yeah, that's like you are going to
Show you
to
like
be
not just
recognized.
show
Yeah,
yourself an improvement, but also
yeah,
show
to other
people your
people.
improvement. And you never know. Some people love the
Yeah,
journey. Like me,
yeah,
most people that listen to me, they just like the fact that I improve. They just like to listen different songs and see how my journey goes. And like right now, I just realized, I just thought about like, oh, maybe even if I don't like a song that much, or if I like a song but it's not that good, maybe I could just put it on YouTube and that's it. I don't have to put it on Spotify. You know, I can just put it on YouTube or put it on SoundCloud. Or if you want to get some cash, I don't know, put it on Bandcamp. Maybe put the price 1 cent. I don't know, whatever. Like, or 50 cents. I don't know. Just do you. Just just try to put it out there, even if it's just on a story, on an Instagram reel, or
Yeah,
TikTok
another way
Music.
that I like, another way that I like, it's when I don't like a song, I send it to other DJs. So these DJs put my track in their radio shows, or even if they have a festival, a music festival, they play it there.
Um, but is
And
the
yeah,
song released already? You should be. I'm gonna give you an advice. You should be careful with that. Like, if you give your song to DJ, do you have publishing already?
yeah, it's like they're playing like an ID in the festivals, so they don't know who is the artist, which song is this, and
No.
looking the reaction of people. I
Oh,
looking the
okay,
reaction of
okay,
people
okay.
to
I get
that
what I
song.
get. Okay, now I get what
Yeah,
you mean. Okay, okay.
that's
Because
why
yeah,
I react myself and see if I can release it or not.
damn, you're so smart.
Yeah,
That's
that is
that's
a
actually
strategy
that's
that I.
actually you just gave me an idea. That's something I'm gonna do with a
Yeah,
lot of my artists, because sometimes they have a lot of songs, and then you're like, we're all there sitting in the meeting for like 2 hours thinking which song should we release, and then we're gonna vote, and then everyone be like, oh, it's equal. Oh no, oh, then we will vote, and then we'll choose a song, and then the artist would go, oh, I really like this song, and then we will vote again. He will go, oh, oh yeah, I also like that one. Like, it's a good idea to actually just maybe go give it to a DJ and be like, hey, can you just play this? And then we just be like, oh, you see the reaction. If they react good, okay, it's good. That's so smart, man.
yeah, that's
Uh,
kind of strategy. Like
I
I
should
was
hire
telling
you.
you, music music business is a little bit complicated, but you
You
can
can
go and
find your
searching for.
way. You can find your
Yeah,
way. Like, you
yeah,
can build your own paths, find your own strategies, and it's mostly complicated if you. I mean, to me, it's not that complicated. Why? Because I took 2 years into studying it. I took 2 years into studying copyright, publishing, which publishing mostly because it's so hard for people to understand their head around. You have five rights, different rights, blah 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 blah, and and then understanding distribution. I'm still discovering distribution. I understand the basics. I'm still discovering, like, by chatting with Spotify, YouTube, and all those other distribution, by like talking to them, attending the meetings. I actually like learn more how they work. That's how I easily help my clients, because I know how Spotify and all those works. And you're right, it's hard. The music business part is so hard, and that's why artists struggle sometimes, mostly when they're
yeah,
independent, because they have to do it themselves too. But when they find their way, their strategies, their way to do stuff, oh, it's easy.
yeah,
That's why sometimes I like to say, some of my artists that I sign are not signed. They're like independent. Because when I find an artist
Mhm.
that is in kind of good independently, I make a contract with him, yes, but I let him be more independent in a way that
Mhm.
I don't make I don't he is his own manager. I don't assign him a manager at all. And unless he wants, um he decides the songs, cover art. I mean, artist has to do that, okay? But when it
Mhm.
comes mostly to some, because there are some artists I have to decide on that, you know but
Yeah,
because they doubt, they don't know. That is okay. That's exactly what I mean. Like, some artists don't know what they want. Hence, we have no choice as label to help them make the decisions. Some artists know what they want, and when I meet an artist that knows what he wants, I just align with his vision and what he want and where he wants to go, and I
yeah,
just help him as a boost. I don't want to change anything. I don't want to touch anything he does. I just want to boost him. That's
yeah,
I
and
think that's a
that's
good way to
that's
put it.
that's very very important, because a way to be unique from the others, because in music business it's like you're competing with a lot of people who wants
Exactly.
to be a music producer.
Exactly. You're
The best
getting it.
way to be unique, it's to do your own style, not
Exactly.
not not making music like this artist. Like I told you,
Exactly.
two artists that influenced me in my
Yes.
career was Marshmello and Martin Garrix. And a mistake that I did was because I learned music production just watching YouTube tutorials too.
Mhm.
Um, I watched how to make music like Martin Garrix, how to make music like Marshmello, how to make music like Brooks, and that's a mistake. Maybe not a mistake because you
You
learn
learn how they do stuff, but not
how
how
they do
you
the
do.
music, but it's not good if you copy their style.
Yeah,
If you do your own style, it's amazing, because
exactly.
if you do their style, they are gonna make it a lot of better than you because it's their style.
It's not
And
yours.
if you do
And
your yeah, and if you do your own style,
mhm,
nobody will be able to do uh,
yours.
your style. Yeah,
You're unique,
yeah,
and
it's the
it'll be
best
easy
way.
for your fans to identify because the moment they're gonna hear, they're like, "That's Gilson's, man." Like
Yeah,
when I hear a Kanye beat, I know it's a Kanye beat. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
You
Even
can't.
if you don't, even if you don't see the name of the artist.
Exactly. You know
Yeah.
he did something there. You know you heard something that you're like, oh yeah, he did something there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I have artists that they don't know what they want. Hence, we spent 3 months trying to make this artist figure out what he wants. And every time he kept coming up with other artist names. Oh, I want to do his style. I'm like, no, 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 no. What's yours?
Yeah.
You can do what he does, but why can't you just instead of doing exactly what he does, maybe take a little bit of what he does, add yours into it. That will
Yeah.
make a huge difference.
That's another advice that I give to people who wants to enter to music production world.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
music is funny. But I really
Yeah.
like your story, man, and
Thank you.
um, the mission of your label is amazing. Oh my god, I feel like you're talking about mine. Even though I became too much businessy, I can say that. That's why I changed label. That's why I took her. I didn't want to be my label manager because I knew too much about the business at a point where I started forgetting about the art.
Hmm.
And that time I stopped producing hands. I didn't even relate it to artists anymore or producers anymore. I didn't relate it to them because I wasn't making art anymore for that time. I was too much business guy. I wanted sales. I wanted streams. I was an asshole. I can identify. I can say I was an asshole because I was kind of harsh on my artist for that time, and I was like, shit, I'm fucking up right now. I'm doing something bad. So I stepped down. I put someone else. I stepped down my position. I was like, I don't deserve to be you guys' boss. Maybe someone else should be my boss. So I that's why I put the new person, and she's doing great. I mean, she's with them in Cameroon. She knows their life. She's leaving. You know what I mean? That helps.
Yeah.
That helps sometimes. And keep doing what you're doing. And it's great because you're making the music and you understand them easily. Don't be like me because
Hmm.
the more you're gonna understand this shit, the more you might just end up being like me.
Yeah.
And I stopped being like that. Trust me, I stopped. Don't be scared of me. I stopped being like that because I started producing again. I started again doing the art. I was like, yeah. I mean, realizing that you'd made a mistake is a good thing. That helped. That's the first step for fixing the problem. When you realize there is a problem. Oh my god, we should talk again. Mostly a full-on episode about labels
Yeah.
because that would be crazy. That would be good to explain
It
how the
would be
music goes.
amazing.
You make me talk about music. I don't want to. I actually don't want to. I'm so scared that yeah, who cares about what people say? But I
Mhm.
care too much about spreading the good information at a point where I don't want to say stuff and it's not it. That's why maybe the next time if we're gonna talk about label, I'm gonna make like a
Yeah.
ton of research, but make sure I
Hmm.
back up my statements, have like a whole page
Okay.
of references, and then
Mhm.
put it there on the description of the podcast in case anyone wants to look at it. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay. anything you want to say to my 5 to 10 listeners?
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, thank you to you for having me in your podcast. It's amazing to be here and share a little bit. I say a little bit because I think you and me have a lot of
A
more
lot of stuff to
to
talk
tell about our lives. But it's, yeah, it's great to share a little bit of our lives, especially in music production. And I really appreciate that people who listens to your podcast take these advices. And yeah, a thing that I will always say is that dream big, work hard, and never give up, because dreams were made to make it
come
happen.
true.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's good.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
now I hope that my audience on my podcast is going to shift from my friends to musicians. And yeah, I mean, I have some entrepreneurs that listen to the podcast and they like it. And my friends too, they like to just listen because they think I'm wise. They just want to learn from me. But
Yeah.
I hope this makes. I'm gonna make clips. I'm gonna send you the clips so that we could post
Okay.
them. Make sure that people get it. If you even want for the clips, I'll send it to you. And yes, we will talk more.
Amazing.
This is the longest episode I've ever made. This is crazy. Thank you so much for
Amazing.
watching, guys. See you.